let's move on to another QB battle. And I know that one that you've got plenty to talk about, but hey, let's try to keep it under control here, QB Ben, and talk about the actual battle between Mac Jones and Cam Newton. But I guess the real question here is, if you are Bill Belichick, or hey, if you're Robert Kraft, how long do you wait before turning over the franchise to Mac Jones?
Well, this is a tough one because I think what happened last year to Cam, he came in and I had high hopes for Cam, but he missed the preseason last year. He came in a little bit late, but he got off to an incredible start. And he was on fire in the first couple of weeks, and then he came down with COVID, and he missed obviously some games. He missed some practice, and ever since then he was kind of not a full shell of himself, but he never really got back on track, and we had a bad season last year. And meanwhile, over in Tampa Bay, Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. So for Belichick, I thought this preseason was a chance to give himself a little bit of a redemption song here and ride strong with Cam, let him play, and even though they drafted Mac Jones, which for me it's like I don't know, it must kind of be tough to be Cam and be going up against somebody who's been drafted in the first round. You know that they have eyes for this kid and they want him to be the real deal, a franchise-style quarterback for a long time to come. So for Cam, who probably wants to play another like 3 or 4 years, he's like, okay, so I'm done now. Like I get one more year here, and I'm going to go sign somewhere else. Fine, So that's the way it is. And actually, this year has turned out to be a competition between Mac and Cam, which I knew it would be because I didn't think Mac was going to be ready to be like first day of training camp starter. But I thought there was this chance that if he had a strong training camp that he could be week 1 starter. But I guess the elephant in the room is Cam went and done it again. He went and he apparently, this isn't, as far as I know, documented. Everyone's saying it's speculation. He didn't get the COVID shot. And he basically just, is now
calls right now. So there's no confirmation that he tested positive. But the NFL has certain testing rules, and right now he's not falling into those testing protocols. So he's got to go into the testing protocol for, I believe, 5 to 7 days.
So it's like, this was actually turning out to be a competition before this happened. But now that this happened, what's happened is Mac has gone from getting, say, like 2 out of 10 reps with the first string to now Mac's the guy getting 8 out of 10. So the question is going to be, as far as this battle is concerned, is this setback going to set Cam back in terms of, he's attending practice on Zoom this week. You cannot be a quarterback from Zoom. I'm sorry. You can't even be an offensive coordinator from Zoom. Never mind the quarterback, the guy who takes the snap. Have you ever tried to take a snap over a laptop? Come on, Cam, you can't do it, buddy. So I guess one of the comments I had a friend make was, Cam was dancing before practice, and I said, like, this guy, I don't like players who can't focus. What I like out of a player is not a roller coaster player. I like a guy who's tried and true, level-headed, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And I like people with fire, but not somebody who's emotional in the sense that they get down about things. And for Cam, he needs kind of like that swagger. But the thing is, you can't really do that in the middle of a game. I mean, football is not that kind of a game. It's not like pickup basketball where you can like always be a clown and stuff like that. You kind of need to show that you can be a serious player. And so I think this might be a chance where Mac Jones is going to have a chance to show what he can do. I don't think it's like quite enough time for him to completely steal the job where people like Cam comes back and everyone's like, oh, who were you? Like Cam's going to be walking back into the starting position, but his leash has just got a lot shorter. But I think what happens is if this happens in the regular season, sorry, Cam, your season as far as being the starter, it's done. He's lucky that this happened now, but knowing Cam, he has a way of shooting himself in the foot. So I don't think he's going to make it more than a couple weeks as the starter. But as far as week 1, as much as I'd like to see Mac, I think Cam's going to get a chance to kind of shoot himself in the foot. What do you got on this, Brennan?
Well, I'll tell you what, the fans are going to love this one. And if you're watching, the viewers, you're going to love this one too. We don't always get along on this show or even agree. And I don't agree with anything producer Ben just said. Gotta just tell you that, producer Ben.
You let me go though. I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Because I want to hear it, and I respect it. I definitely respect it. And like I said, hey, first off, if you're new to this show, give us a subscribe, give us a like, or call in and give us your opinion, because this is an opinion show. Everybody's got their own opinion, and we're all discussing it. And so this is the forum to do it. Give us a subscribe, give us a like. We're on a mission to get to 1,000 subs. But hey, I'm going to play the devil's advocate right here and just say, honestly, I want that in my quarterback. Honestly, I want somebody that can lighten the mood and can, be a leader, not only on the field, but off the field, and have a good locker room and have a good locker room vibe. And by all reports, Cam Newton is that locker room guy. That's mainly the reasons why he's still getting chances in the NFL, because he's such a great locker room presence and the guys want to follow him. And when you're a quarterback, you need that. You need the locker room to be behind you. And everybody says that this is really one of the best teammates to have. You even seen it last year when they had the preseason game against Seattle, or even a regular season game, and he runs across the field pregame to go see Greg Olsen, his former tight end. So I think that's just the type of relationships that he builds with the players that he plays with, and they will go the extra mile for him. So I expect him to build those relationships with a guy like, Hunter Henry or Jonnu Smith or Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne specifically said, hey, I want to come in here and play for a guy like Cam Newton, a guy that was a former MVP, and he knows what he knows what to win, how to win, and how to get it done in the league. And I still think he's got a lot left. So those were words straight out of Kendrick Bourne's mouth, one of our new wide receivers. So I think if I'm the New England Patriots, I think the winning depends on how long you stick. Right now, it's Cam Newton's job, undoubtedly, and the rookie is learning more and more. I think the best part about proving that, hey, you're a rookie and you got to learn, was in the preseason, they gave him a bogus whack number during practices, and Mac Jones had to earn his number 10, the number 10 that he played with at Alabama and clearly wanted to play with in the pros. Well, Bill Belichick said, well, prove it. Prove that you're an NFL quarterback, and I'll put an NFL quarterback number on you. I think Mac Jones has done that. He's impressed Bill Belichick. He's impressed all the fans and has clearly checked off everything you want from a first-round pick and from a number one quarterback. And I do think now he is going to be the quarterback and the franchise of this quarterback of this franchise going forward. And you can even go back on this show where I was, questioning the pick, and I wanted to go elsewhere with the pick. But I think Mac Jones has really come out and proven a lot of people wrong, including myself. But I think, like I said, it's the winning that is really going to dictate what goes on here. If Cam Newton can come out and get a couple of wins here, I think it's his job the rest of the season. If he can keep us in, playoff form and having a chance to get into the playoffs, remember, a team that was out of the playoffs last year, I think Cam Newton will keep this job the rest of the season. But if we're about 6 or 7 games through and the season's not looking too good and we're maybe at 500, I do think you'll look to see this team get handed over to the rookie Mac Jones and see what he can do for the rest of the season.
One guy who likes Cam Newton is N'Keal Harry. And that guy, he's been a bust, a huge bust. So, some people in the locker room might like him better, but how good is that going to go after they've lost the first 2 or 3 games? So, as a Pats fan, I hope that Cam is the Cam of old. I hope we, see Super Dab Cam, but from the days of the Panthers. But for me, it's I just don't see a player who has he seems to be a little bit too emotional as a player, and for me that does not bode well. So I have more to say on this in the the sad thing is, we'll have Pat back here next week, so I won't even get to say I can keep arguing about this, but don't be surprised if I call in that number and give you guys a little bit. I don't want to have to say I told you so, but I am not above it if it comes to it.
I'll be waiting for it.
Folks, if you like this show, you're watching it right now on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. That's Comeback Sports on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, Comeback Sports. And then all the cut-ups that our awesome producer, Ben Couto, puts together after the show, that'll all filter to your YouTube channel. You don't have to go search for it. It's just right there in your subscriptions.